Yes, I. Greetings in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. And all things that's good. You know, see? Yeah, I want to say respect to all subscriber them. Enough respect to all new subscriber. And you don't know, Mad Love is a family we are create. And we are trying to teach one another. We are create a club, a union. You know, man no greater than no man, and no man no better than no man. You see? Yeah. And if you just watch the video, you like the content, man, just, you know, subscribe. I make a reach 10,000, man. It's a feat that it's, you know, yeah, make a reach 10,000, man, my friend and family. Share the video, them, and share the channel and thing, and make we develop the thing, you know, see, because I found a thing, you know, and I love it. See? So today we are continuing with the Yardie in Britain story. See, we noticed them video and get a whole heap of views of such, but you don't know the politics of things and the times. You can't put it down to that, but again, it's a document where, coming from my perspective, probably even my kids will understand it from my perspective, other than from people's perspective. See, which lead me to start off on a point say, this morning, Britain spoke, we hear on the news this morning say Britain run a survey after the George Floyd thing and the what's it called, the Black Lives Matter march and thing like that, where you don't know it went right across the world. See, Britain claims they're gonna do their race survey to see how, you know, the racial disparities in our society works, if there's any or whatever, and things like that. Anyway, this morning they came back with the result of the inquiry, seen, and said there is nothing to fix. Basically, there's nothing wrong with the system in Britain. Britain is a model of multiculturalism. First, we're a model of multiculturalism, and there's nothing else that they can do to better enable race relations. It's at its summit. You know, it can't get any better than this. See, now it left me for wonder how many black people have substance, how many black people with true concern, with deep, direct misguidances in regards to race relations in Britain was sitting on that panel, because obviously I know a lot of black people. Akala, for one, yeah, is very objective of the systems our society dealing, you know, racial equality and things like that. See, so I wonder if anybody like him was sitting on the panel to be schooled and taught by those who knew better or knew what really was going on by himself, so that we can just put this thing to bed once and for all and things like that. I'm even here wondering if there's any black people on the panel of such. Yeah, because over time Britain's got this style, this tactics where it draw for some Asian people, particularly those of the what you call it, yeah, Ugandan heritage, from the Idi Amin fiasco and tragedy and things like that. Usually get those Asian to be the face of multiculturalism and be a representative of what every ethnic minority is going through in Britain. While we as black people know those Asian people as keepers of the gates to the resources which further enable or benefit other races, other ethnic minorities to develop themselves. You understand? What Britain has done over time has created like funding for ethnic minority groups, and who are those that are in charge? The Asians. And you cannot say to the white man, the Asians are racist to the black man. They'll never accept that. I know they know it's true, because again, like I said, based on my experience, I think they are placed in these positions, like for instance, certain institutions, to maintain a certain status quo, a certain agenda, and they willingly do so. You understand me? Like I've always said, the institutions in inception, conception aren't racist. How it affects people racially is the fact that you got people who have got dirty intents working in there, might have been placed there by people of strong influence or strong substance in society to maintain a status quo. It could have been so, because again, like I'm saying, yeah, I've never seen any black man of relevance making representation on behalf of black people. Black man who has got no reason to be corrupt, then, to put it simple. You understand me? We know and they know that the most potent weapon that they have ever gotten amongst us is one of us. You get what I say? And yet still they decide to be the one who choose and select the one from, quote unquote, from among us to represent us. You understand me? No consideration for our intelligence and not much changes in the tactics that they employ to maintain the status quo, keep us in servitude and things like that. You understand me? Now, right across Britain, you go and you talk to groups and communities of black people, them can point out evidence and physical evidence that suggests separatism, inequality, and racialism and things like that. You understand what I say? But the people of consequence, so-called people of consequence, you'll never get them to you don't have to admit it. Work with these people who are complaining and try to get their perspective of things. No, you're sending some people who are unrelatable. You pay them to do a job within a certain time. For them, the quicker they finish, the better as well. You mean they're already being contracted or something to come up with an end result. You understand? And they're running into what they have to do and come back out with whatever they think. You get what I'm saying? Without being able to relate to the people. Most of the time when they go in with advice to the people, not to riot, because nobody will listen to you. An argument like that. See? How did you got there? Isn't it because of the riots? And what alternative are you offering these people? What other outlet are you offering the people? Because they're not offering no outlet either, and them tell you not to riot because nobody will look at you. Do what then? What should we do then? Say something. You understand me? You know, just come with your pretty suit, come offer us advice, like, well then you are the solution. Your advice is the solution. Your advice is no solution, man. You know, see, so it leads us to talk about the Broadwater Farm Estate riot today. You know, see, a couple of months, about 4 months after Miss Cherry Gross was murdered, was shot, brutally shot, and left paralyzed from the chest down in Brixton, seen by a rogue police element who were claimed to be looking for her black son during the heights of racial tension and racism within the Met Police Force in London. This police officer chose to discharge his firearm in the back at a running woman, someone trying to make their escape, someone who posed no threat whatsoever. You understand? Someone who does not fit the characteristics of a threat in a nightgown. Seen, this man chose to shoot the lady in the back. And for whatever reason he had, seen, I still think it's racial. You get what I'm saying? See, and within months, 4 months after that, see, because all these are months, you got a series of incidents that took place in the 80s that wasn't really far apart. You understand me? And each time these incidents happen, there has been an inquiry, and at the end of the inquiry, you hear that race played a role. Police heavy-handed tactics due to racial motivation played a role in the result of these type of things. You understand what I say? Yet still, no serious actions have ever been taken in terms of consequences for stirring up social discord and things like that. I mean, for a man, an ordinary man on the street to go out there and propagate or cause disorder or stir up vibes like these, he'll be charged seriously with certain serious crimes. You get what I say? Yes, still when the police force go out there and actively pursue racial tension between them and the community that they were meant to serve, they get to walk away from that easily and continue to serve this said community for years. You get what I say? While the system or the society at large acknowledge and is knowingly aware of the tension. You understand what I say? The same thing that happened in the Broadwater farm estate. You hear that sound like a prison? Broadwater farm estate. See, from, but I don't know what happened to that estate right now. See, it's a housing estate where people live, hundreds of people. You get what I say? Where them do it's like on the like a back open land, you know, from the normal the normal community or the normal community built up with houses and things like that. They just find a piece of land. Not very close walking distance to the regular suburban area. See? But again, not very far driving distance from the suburban people to drive there. Yes, but the ghetto people who need to come that way have to walk quite a distance. So it's better to stay in your estate as a prison. See? From what I saw, the outside pictures and things like that and run around the place, but the closest description we can give of that, it's like when I watch the movie named Judge Dredd. Yeah, and you see Judge Dredd going at that place there. Something like, yeah, that feelings it give me when I look on the video and the picture of the thing. You know, see it. So you can go check it out on other YouTube channels and things like that, the Broadwater video, because again, when them white man have video, our struggle, and we show back the clip them make copyright claims and still get paid from our effort to educate our people about what go on, what we went through. You understand? And I don't think that's fair. So I rather talk about what I see than show clippings with them end up send come copyright claims my channel and all them things. You know, see? So yeah, I will talk about what I know and who and go research it and go watch for them clippings and get validation from them. See man, if I don't know. You know, see it? But the Broadwater farm estate look to me like a definitely prison terror camp, something like where Hitler would have used spam feeding people them. That's how me feel about it, even though you have a mixture of people who lived there. See, but again, it's a mixture of people who bear and feel the oppression, you know, see, of what black people mainly was complaining about. You know, see, because again, the effect, the social burden, you cannot separate the social effect from any particular race when you bungle them together like that. You get what I mean? Even though the majority of the people living there is gonna be the one that they intend to oppress. You know, see, and you have the police who come in there every day and terrorize, intimidate, and traumatize the youth then, because again, if you know say you meant to protect me know say you meant to protect me, see, but yet still I use bully boyism, some underhand tactics. You understand? You set me up, you beat me up, you charge me and for things that I not do and things like that. And I cannot compare, I have an outlet where me can say, where me can point it out to who's gonna secretly investigate my claims and prove me wrong or right. You understand? Anywhere me go, it fall on dead ears. Up to this day, it fall on deaf ears. Yes, they do set up entities where them say you can't go complain to, but are the same people them. Just like me I explained to you with the inquiry, the so-called inquiry where them look into black relations into Britain. It's the same people them who oppress black people them and do the research and the inquiry them. Go look on the panel. Margaret Thatcher did it with Oliver Letwig, who was a rampant racist. Went back to Margaret Thatcher and tell her, I said, she can't do anything for black people during the 80s because all black people is going to do with whatever resource, social resource she afford them, is going to smoke ganja and party and keep dance and things like that. And she sat back as a learned leader, giving the climate and the complaint with what going out there, and took that from the so-called guy who, the incompetent in entirety. Seeing she take that and apply it to black people. See, where was her, personal understanding and knowledge of people-to-people relation, how that work. You understand what I say? She was willing, she knew what she wanted to get back from that inquiry. That's why she put that person on the job to come back. It was all orchestrated and pre-organized before he even was established as a representation of such. You understand me? And up until David Cameron government the other day, in the 2000, I think up until about 2000 enough, you understand me? David Cameron had Oliver Letwig as his advisor as well, one of his advisor, if not his main advisor as well. You understand? So we haven't made any form of strive, any form of advancement in terms of race relation in Britain. See? And there is this loud censorship of what the people think of what the people feel, because it doesn't matter how much they complain. Britain just tell them what they think. The white side of Britain, these guys who find themselves, who maintain the status quo and benefit from the status quo, because people do benefit from racism and the division that it causes, because if the nation should come together entirely as a people and everybody is on the same level, everybody's gonna demand more. It's gonna feel the need to demand a certain level of equality, which they won't afford. It's not like they can't afford, they won't. You understand me? Because keeping us in servitude does give us this clouded vision, this tunnel vision, just to achieve or pass a certain threshold, like how the Americans call it, the American dream, that enchant us, and we just strive for that and forget everything else that happening and is happening around us. You understand me? We just see that as a pattern, something, a portfolio set for way to and yeah, it's workable because the end result is there. And we have seen the possibilities every day. So yeah, see it. See it. So, it's the same for the same. It might not be the same narrative in terms of the goal over here, but it's the same for the same. See, it's the same mag, it's the same car, and the same thing like that. See, same distraction. See, so the division benefit a certain demography that does really, truly benefit. Now, when I say benefit, I mean financially, mad. See, while we left to contend with each other, who is better, who is more relevant, who is valid, and things like that. See, I am tired, really, of experiencing common, normal white people out on the street who struggle every day like me with them head hold down, don't know how to address or say something or whatever because of the fear of racism and things like that, me thinking or feeling that they are being racist and things like that. It's a joke. You understand what I'm saying? It's full time for the government, the government who meant to address society on a level whereby we know that even if a man says something, you wouldn't have done that because there are consequences for that. Let's look at it another way. It might have meant something else. You understand me? There is no protection for black people who has been through the most in terms of inequality and degradation. See, no protection for that self-esteem, that self-confidence. See, there's no protection for the development of such. It's left lacking and wide open and wanting for any abuse. See, 'cause once you start abuse the structure, you find opposition in whatever your perception is of whatever, it's just clear where you just get a bit concerned with you know, your decision. You know, see, and there's always people out there abusing. You know, see. Yeah. So the Broadwater riot start now for another lady with them going in her house. So them a look for her son on the estate for whatever reason. See? And claim say them just pass the lady like how you pass somebody in a supermarket. See? And when them pass the lady, them go upstairs, go look for who them, look for do whatever, come out and gone. And when them are gone, them hear say, the lady drop down in the house, have a heart attack. When them leave, on the outside, on the landing, like outside in the yard, then put it away there for want of a better understand. See, them hear say the lady drop down in the house, and no matter how them are knock and offer them assistance, so picking them wouldn't open the door to them and make them help with the lady. See, now the kids them argument on the other hand is far different. I doubt if till this day this family has gotten the justice that they desire or was there even an attempt to give them the clarity that they so justly seeks and desire. You understand what I say? Because the police argument is far different from theirs. They allege that the policeman chucked the mom in the chest, chuck her to the ground and things like that, and pass her gone like a boss. See? And obviously from their description of the things, that's when mom start having cardiac issues. You get me? So it's a strong possibility from there. She was ignored even by people who might have known first aid. I might have been able to offer the relevant and necessary assistance that could have enabled her breath to last a little longer until the paramedics get there or something like that. You understand what I say? This was a level of ignorance being employed to black people based on the nature of the police them days back in London, and till this day it still happen because here they have people, even after Black Lives Matter march, how much thousands of people march right across Britain the other day, and Britain are going to come up now, come say there is no issue with racism in Britain. This is a disgrace. You understand what I say? And it's been happening historically. For decades, it's a historical disgrace, and Britain keep doing it over and over, and no redress, no application whatsoever for change the nature of things. You see, the only application is to put some Asian people there who I think are mainly of Ugandan descent, who have a bee in the bunny. Literally, has got reason, got motive against black people. You understand what I say? So, read about the Broadwater farm estate riots. You see it. And you will see what going on again with the another incident of terror upon a black family and upon a black, predominantly black community. Assault of terror on the community. And it's you can hear from the narrative them admit say there's a lot of feelings within the system and the society and things like that. But again, nobody would address it in the way it needs to be. You find that it's pure denial and things like that. Anyway, I'll continue with that little history, even though it now get the popularity where it deserves or where it needs. See, but I'm still up on the Born for Dead, I feel no way. Seeing, and we are continuing with the prison story again, same way, but we are pace ourselves, because everybody have to do something, and everybody have to do them thing, and we have to pay attention to the atmosphere of what going on and where everybody love and like same way. You don't know. Share, like, and subscribe, See? The mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. And I give thanks. See? Yeah. We could get to the 10,000, oh man. If you not watch it to this far, we could get to the 10,000. Feel and sound excited.